Hello, my name is Sarah, and I'm here today to start sharing my story of a beautiful, beautiful journey into my new rebirth of the spirit. The person I knew at 54 years old died, and then I was reborn into the spirit, starting off as an infant. And I'm going to tell you my journey. I'm going to go back to September 2020. I had stayed at a hotel in Cartersville. I checked out and I was cleaning out my car. A van pulls up and a crowd of people get out, and they're from a church. And while I'm cleaning, I can hear them saying, "Does somebody here have a hurt foot?" And I heard it and I just kept on cleaning. And then they said it again. And I was like, "Yeah, I do." They came over to me and I told them, I said, "My right foot has been injured twice. It's never healed correctly, and I'm in pain all the time. Even though I still would wear my little booties, my little heels." So they asked if they could pray on me, and I said, "Of course." So they all got around me, and the man that was talking to me, he put his hand down on my foot. So they prayed. I closed my eyes, and I prayed to myself and listened to the prayer. And the next thing I know, my pain was gone completely. I think I even jumped up and down on it. I was so ecstatic. And you know why it got healed? 3 letters. G-O-D. That young man was a vessel for God and had a gift of healing, as I do now. And that's going to come into my story later. So after that, I was just so thankful and grateful to them and just appreciated everything, because my right foot hurt all the time. It just, I'd have to take my shoes off, my heels off, because it would hurt so bad. So I don't know how much time after that. It was 2021 actually. After being put into the arrival in Marietta, I think it was the next morning, and I woke up just happy. Most happiest I've been in a long time. Anyway, all of a sudden I'm watching religious channels. Anything I ever watched before, done. It's part of my death. I'm watching the 700 Club. And the man on there is talking about the story about me and my foot and them healing it. But he called me Sally. He didn't use my real name. And they could have used my real name. I would have been more than happy for them to tell the truth of whom they were talking about. So that, I think, is when the people got their little organization together and decided, there's something about Sarah that we need to pay attention to. And then my storage unit was right behind the hotel I was at. I don't know if it was the same day or another day, but I noticed I was being followed. This man in a black SUV was watching me loading up my car or unloading my car. Like he was in the street, kind of over, but he was just sitting there watching. And I knew it. I just knew it. And then when I was pulled out, here he comes, driving in his black SUV. And I was on my way to Alabama. I don't think he went all the way to Alabama, because where I was staying at in Alabama, you couldn't even get there by the GPS. And when I first went there, because a childhood friend of mine whom I was going to visit in Alabama, that was, she's really bad. She's got Satan really bad. Satan is tearing her up. But drugs. But where I was staying at, what was it called? Cedar Bluff? Yeah, Cedar Bluff. Beautiful lake. I took beautiful photos. Oh my gosh. Beautiful photos. But I don't have them anymore because they're in my Google account that the people took ownership of, and I can't get into it. Anyway, I'm not here right now to talk about or bring up bad memories because trust me, during this beautiful journey of these past 2 years or so, there's been a lot of bad, a lot of bad, but majority has been wonderful. So moving forward, which I'm skipping some, and I'll throw it in later in another video. I want to get to where it really all started. I was at my storage, now public storage, in 2021 September. I think maybe it was a year, exactly a year. And I was in the Kia I had in the parking lot, and I was getting really agitated because I thought my car had run out of gas, or I thought the battery was dead. Later to find out the people were remotely controlling my car. The car. It was never mine. But anyway, that's another story. So I'm getting agitated. And I was probably out of cigarettes too, so I was really getting agitated. You know, just agitated. And God said, Sarah, get out of the car. So I got out. And God said, Sarah, look up. And it was a beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. I looked up with my eyes shut because at that time I couldn't look into the sun with my bare eyes like I can now. So I look up, and all of a sudden, with my eyes shut, and all of a sudden, God is pulling my breath up, like, and it felt like it was being held forever. But at this exact moment, as God pulls my breath up, I see heaven. I see God, as I had always imaged as a child. Now I know He's Spirit. Hang on one second. Okay, so at that very second, too, as God, God was holding my breath, I saw heaven, God, and Jesus. Jesus was at the right hand of God. God was the image I had imaged as a child, as this older man with long gray hair, both wearing white robes. Now I know God is spirit. I know God is spirit. So anyway, heaven, wow. This whole experience was breathtaking, something that will go with me for eternity. It was all pastel colors. It was gorgeous. I wish I could really explain it, or even I wish I could color it or paint it to show you. But I'm not an artist. But I can just tell you, most beautiful place I'd ever seen, will ever see. And so, okay, so I'm seeing this image of the three. And then, like I said, I felt like God was holding my breath forever. And then all of a sudden, God starts to release my breath. I know now, what I know now I didn't know then, is God poured the Holy Spirit into me. I saw purple around the sun. And as God released my breath and let me go, I remember standing right outside of my car. And I was the most peaceful and calm I'd ever been in my life. I never knew such a peace existed. It was like nothing can harm me. Nothing could harm me. I felt the love of the Trinity, just pure love. And I was completely peaceful. Completely peaceful. So while I'm enjoying this breathtaking, can't even believe it type type experience, best you'd ever experienced in your life. I'm interrupted by this young man that had been parked at the public storage, didn't have a storage unit in there. And I'd seen him there another other day before, just sitting there. Because he got me at a moment where nothing could harm me. For some reason, he knew that I thought I was out of gas and offered to take me to the gas station to get some gas for my car. So I was very trusting at that time because I had nothing but love in my heart. So I said, okay. So driving to the gas station, I told him my experience that I just had. He didn't get it. He was an active drug addict, and he was in denial, telling me he was going to, where you go to get better. I can't think of the word. Okay, detox or whatever it's called. So now all of a sudden, I still have my love and feeling, but my emotional intelligence and intuition, everything is kicking in. This man is not getting me gas. This is a setup. Got to the gas station. Oh, I don't have any money. Do you have any money? No, I wouldn't be out of gas if I did. Well, I got a gas can hidden over there, pointing over to the side of the building or something. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This is a setup. Let's see how this plays out. So he goes, walks over there, comes back. Oh, my gas can is gone. Let me take you back and then see what I can do to go get you some. So we go back. He says, I'll go get you some gas and bring it back to you. I said, okay, but I knew that was a lie. The whole thing was a lie. His Satan spirit was lying to me. The people told him to do this. It was a setup because they had remote access to my car. They wanted to do something to the car with me out of the way. So, but when the man dropped me off, I went over to the trees and the flowers, and I was like I'd never seen them before, and just in awe of the beauty. Now I know what was going on with me. I had been reborn into the spirit. The person I knew was dead and gone. I'm now a new birth, a rebirth of the spirit. I am an infant, just seeing all the beauty. Of course, there's trash everywhere, so that kind of was but the beauty of the trees and the flowers, I was touching them and I was an infant. I was a newborn spirit. So that is the time that when my life completely changed. I had no more interest in men, no more sex. It's been 2 years now since I've had it, and I will not ever have it again. God wanted me to be single for all this time. I'll remain single. I stopped watching TV. That's all I used to watch. And I would watch Snapped or Forensic Files, Lifetime, but that stopped. News completely stopped. Because then every time I'd see the news, it would just kill me, go to my heart, because all it was is death and children, and it just went to my heart, my soul. So I stopped watching news, TV. I stopped listening to my country and my other little, soft pop, rock, whatever you want to call it, not rock and roll, and I went straight to Christian and gospel music. Now TV I did watch would be religious channels like TV Evangelists. I started watching those. I was reborn. But at the same time, now I know, but I didn't know then, I had been possessed with demons. going back to 2 years old when I had a small trauma. It was a big trauma to me, but to you, it would be like, what? That's how you got demons in you? Yes, I was 2 years old, upstairs, woke up from a nap in my crib, started calling out for my mom and my dad and my siblings. Nobody would come and get me, and I was just scared out of my mind. And I just remember just crying and crying. I was so scared, and I was 2. You're not supposed to remember anything under 3 years old, but I remember this like it happened yesterday. That is when they first started going in me. And then when I was 13, they got in me again. That's when I started, trying cigarettes, tasting cigarettes. And then at that time, it was just like a plaything, but I put it in my mouth. And because I was around people, my whole step family, my mom, they all smoked cigarettes. It wasn't until I was 16 when I really started smoking, 16, 17. So, so on the right side of me was Jesus, and on the left side of me is where I was possessed with the demons. Everything I know now, I've learned on my journey. My story is long, so it's going to take several videos to keep telling it. But I really wanted to get the first part out there as to when my life changed. The next one will be about when one of the demons came out and I was having a conversation with it in a motel that the people put me in. I don't remember everything, but I remember some. So I'll discuss that later. I mean, I've got a lot of things to tell you. And when I tell you things that have happened to me, you're going to realize they've happened to you. And then you're going to know, wow, it's Satan. Because I'm going to tell you, Satan is every mental illness. Satan is every physical illness. Science, medical doctors, psychiatrists don't know a thing. Nothing. They don't. Because it's all Satan. Adam and Eve brought Satan into us. We were born in sin. We weren't, because of them, we were no longer the spirit that God had created us to be, which was all love. Walk around naked and have no embarrassment, no makeup on, no shame, So this is the beginning of my story, and I hope you enjoyed today, and I will keep making my videos. Thank you.